All right, guys, Fuller coming to you with another Guerrilla boxing video. There's something I really want to highlight real quick that was brought to the attention. Actually, I found it quite surprising that this fellow fighter had these words to say. We're going to break down what this fellow fighter had to say, and then I'm going to give my point of view of the situation. Let me go ahead and find it real quick.
For a long time.
Him to give us his top 5 pound for pound. You think he ought to fight next? Should it be Charlo? Should it be Benavidez?
See, that's the difference between me and a lot of fighters. Whoever the fans say is the best, that's where I'm going to go. So I think that the fight with Canelo and Charlo has been boiling for a long time. And Benitez is calling out everybody. Listen, I love that dude passion, man. He calling out everybody. Whoever the champ is, I won't smoke with you. He kind of like me a little bit. So, I think that Canelo should fight against either Charlo or Benavidez. And I don't know what all this whole Mexican talk is about. Like, oh, he's not going to fight against Mexican fighters. I'm not in his shoes. I don't understand it. But a fight is a fight. Where you're from or whatever doesn't matter. Whatever race you are doesn't matter. It's like he's saying, yeah, I'm going to only fight black, white, and Puerto Rican fighters. It's like, no, bro, you're going to fight against the best. And I think that Benavidez has showed that he's top best. Charlo has showed that he's top best. Canelo said that these guys aren't fighting each other. I don't know why Benavidez and Charlo aren't fighting each other, but everybody want to fight the money man. So if Canelo going to be the money man, hey, you got to take on these big challenges. And we don't get to pick who our challenges is. Like, I feel like Canelo wants to pick who he fights, when he fights him. I think the fight with him and Triple G was long overdue. The trilogy should have been so many years ago. I love Triple G. I had won some gloves that was auctioned off by him. I paid $2,000. I still got them in my closet. I think Triple G, he's not done with boxing, but I feel like he's almost done. Like, he can still beat some of the good guys, but don't overdo it. And I think that just him being 40, him being older, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's starting up slower now, and I already knew that Canelo would win the fight against Triple G. I already knew that. It was no doubt in my mind. I actually thought he would be able to KO him, but Triple G, like I was telling everybody, like, this dude got a hard head. He's tough. He went to the Olympics. Like, this is a great guy. He's a great fighter. So I think that time isn't on his side right now, though. But I think that with Canelo being, I'm gonna tell you exactly how old he is. If I'm 27, Canelo is 31. How do I know that? How I know that? Because when I was 17, I was like, oh my God, he's only 4 years older than me. I wanna date Canelo. I'm like, he only 4 years older than me? Are you serious? Yeah, but I don't have no crush no more. But that's how I know he's 4 years older than me. So I think that Canelo.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Him being 31.
I was gonna say your fiance would have a problem with that.
Yeah, for sure. No, for sure. But I think that with Canelo being 31, he should fight against the other younger guys. Benavidez, Charlo. He fought against Caleb Plant, Billy Joe Saunders. He's fought some tough guys. But I don't know why. Oh, scratch that. Demetrius Andre to give anybody smoke. Boo-boo, anybody. Listen, I love Charlo. I got a lot of respect for Benavidez. But Andre, this dude, listen, I want to see all of them fight. I know everybody want to fight against Canelo because he went to Canelo press conference. Like, Andre tried to press him out for real. So it's just like, okay, Canelo, you're not fighting against Mexican fighters, but you're not fighting against black fighters either. Like, we need to get this going. So I want to see Canelo against Andre, against Charlo, against Benavidez, and I want to see everybody. Charlo against Andre, Benitez against Andre. Like, those are fights that the fans want to see. Those are fights that I want to see, and I'm a fan.
I hear you. And Andrew,
All right, so you pretty much heard what Clarissa Shields was saying about the whole situation pertaining to Canelo. Um, so here's the thing that I've been saying about Canelo, but nobody wants to believe me. Nobody ever wants to believe me about Canelo. The thing is this, okay? I don't now. Terrence Crawford in the past alluded to the fact that Canelo did not want to fight, black fighters. Uh, Even Demetrius Andre's father alluded to the fact that Canelo was afraid of undefeated black fighters. Um, one article, I don't know what it was. I think it was an article for the Spanish magazine, but they translated it into English. Yeah, it was like a Spanish magazine. Um, they kind of alluded to the fact that they feel that they kind of like misconstrued Clarissa Shields' words, and they kind of alluded to the fact they said, "Oh, well, she actually thinks that Canelo is racist." You know what I mean? That they actually the article actually accused Canelo of racism. You know, now they're saying that she actually accused Canelo of racism. That's what the article pertained to. Now, the thing is that Canelo is not fighting. It has nothing to do with race. I'm going to tell you that. Number one, it has nothing to do with race. It has to do with skill level. That's the thing. Deep down inside, it's about skill level. Because one thing one thing we have to ask Canelo, and I hope someone like who has maybe a press conference with Canelo or goes to a press conference with Canelo, I hope one of the questions he asks Canelo is, okay, you say you're not going to fight Mexicans, but you fought, I think you fought Angulo on your return from your loss to Floyd Mayweather, and then also on top of that, you fought earlier in your career, and you made him come up in weight in order to fight him, and let's just say that was a mismatch. You fought Josecito Lopez as well, who's another Mexican, right? So you fought these guys, right? But yet you're not fighting any other Mexican. But what did they have in common? What did those two Mexican fighters have in common? Kind of stationary, stand in front of you so you can get your stuff off. Basically, so like you can, in essence, Canelo could get his stuff off, right? Take a hit to give a hit. Their style of fighting, right? So, with that being said, it's not about the race of fighter with Canelo. It's about the skill level of that fighter. The thing is that, when he fought Caleb Plant, when he fought Billy Joe Saunders, they happen to conveniently be holding belts, right? And they also conveniently happen to have, I want to say, not as much power as the other guys. Now, you have Caleb Plant saying he wants a rematch with Canelo, but it's like, bro, you better sit down somewhere. Okay, you have other problems to worry about. One guy that you won't mention, who I have never heard this guy actually mention his name. I have not heard him mention his name whatsoever at all. Has not mentioned his name. Caleb Plant hasn't mentioned David Morrell at all, whatsoever. And we know why he hasn't mentioned him, because he knows what time it is. David Morrell, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. David Morrell is a better boxer than Caleb Plant. I mean, everybody who knows, like, Cuban Soviet style boxing knows that they're master boxers, you know. And in addition to that foundation, he has all the other things. Okay? So I don't even need to go into that. But it has to do with skill when it comes to Canelo choosing opponents. Okay? Ethnicity doesn't matter. It also has to do to the fact that maybe one of them has a belt. Now, the thing is, he fought Bivol thinking that Bivol was going to be a walk in the park. And he really thought Bivol was going to be a walk in the park because he didn't put a hydration clause on that fight or a weight clause on that fight. You know, he didn't try to weight drain Bivol as he did with other opponents. Now, the thing is, Bivol wasn't a walk in the park at all. You know, Bivol had that man, like, just really in a bad way. I don't know how you can have the card, like, I think they had it like 115, 113. I don't really know how you can have that card when, you know, at most I think Canelo only won, I would say, 2 rounds in that fight, man. So with that being said, you know, that just shows you what type of caliber that Bivol is on, right? The rematch will be worse, you know, because Bivol already fought him once. He's figured him out. So, again, I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo fights a guy like John Ryder or something like that. So, I don't agree with Clarissa Shields. I don't know how you say her name. I don't agree with her when she's saying that Canelo is avoiding, like, these black fighters. I just think it's certain skill sets that Canelo is avoiding. Now, you know, out of the bunch, I think Charlo would be probably the easiest opponent for Canelo. But the thing is, you know, with Demetrius Andrade being a master boxer and being a switch hitting boxer who can switch from Southside or Southpaw to also Orthodox, and with his length, there's nothing Canelo can really do. Also, you know, Demetrius Andrade, he may not be the biggest puncher, but he has respectable pop. You know, and I think he has enough pop to keep Canelo off of him versus the fact that Caleb Plant and the fact that, you know, Billy Joe Saunders didn't really have pop to keep Canelo off of him, right? Now, the thing is that in addition to that, you know, you have David Benavidez, who's been wanting to fight a lot of people. And, you know, I hate to say it, and I'm just going to say it. To me, David Benavidez should be fighting at 175. You know, that's just my opinion. Personal opinion. But with that being said, right, stylistically, maybe, you know, David Benavidez with his athleticism, the fact that he throws pretty fast punches, okay? That speed would probably give Canelo some issues, you know. The fact that he throws pretty fast, rapid fire combinations. I think that prevents or presents a challenge to David Benavidez. But again, it's skill level. he thought he thought he understood, like, oh, you know, I know European style, this, that, and the other when it came to Bivol. But the thing is, I have to mention his name as well. The fight, if Canelo were to fight Beterbiev, the fight would have been worse for Canelo if he fought Beterbiev. Um, I'm just going to go ahead and say this, and I'm going to stand on this. But Beterbiev is a better boxer than Canelo, by far. Beterbiev has better footwork than Canelo, by far. Beterbiev can fight going backwards. Canelo cannot fight going backwards. You know what I mean? So, you know, it would have been bad for Canelo in that fight against Beterbiev. It would have been very, very bad for him. Now, one other thing that comes to mind, and they've already taken pictures together and stuff like that. They've already met. They've already encountered each other at fights. But another one that's lurking around the corner, who I feel everybody is afraid of at 168, you have David Morrell Jr. He's lurking around the corner. But it just seems like everybody doesn't want those problems. And Canelo, you know, of course, we know he's going to avoid those problems. We already understand. And we already understand why he's going to avoid those problems. So, again, it's not about race. It's about skill. I guarantee you that if these fighters that I name, be it like the Beterbievs, be it the Bivols, be it the Benitez's, be it the Andres, if they all were stationary fighters that just stand right in front of you, will take hits to give a hit, then Canelo will have no problem in fighting them. Trust me. Because he had no problem fighting the other people of his nationalities who did that. And that's all it comes down to. It's not about race. It's about skill level. You know, and Canelo fans will swear that he's this mad skillful boxer who just has otherworldly skills, and really, you know, he's basic fighter, you know, super basic. But anyhow, man, that's all I got for now. Y'all leave your thoughts and leave your comments on this case. Fuller signing out. John Alman.